Hello everyone and welcome to the Simple Joy Show. Today we're focusing on a favourite topic for many, and that's our wardrobes. I'm going to introduce you to the wardrobe hanger method, which is a straightforward way to declutter your wardrobe. It's perfect for those who feel overwhelmed by the thought of sorting through their clothes, and this method is all about simplicity and gradual decision making. This is the Simple Joy Show, the podcast for people who are ready to declutter and simplify their homes and lives to create more space, time, energy and freedom. I am your host, Hayley Forster, mother, wife and declutter coach, and I'm going to be sharing with you simple bite-sized nuggets to help you on your journey to living a simpler life through the power of decluttering. So if you're ready to choose calm over chaos, then let's dive into today's show. Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode. Hope you are doing well. We've got an exciting week here in the Forster household because it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow. So she's going to be 12. She's my eldest daughter. And we're going to a place in Manchester called Chaos Carts. But it's like Mario Kart basically. And it's all interactive and it's got lights and images projected on the walls and in front of you and stuff like that. So it sounds pretty cool. So we're doing that tomorrow, which will be really exciting. She's looking forward to that. So today I'm baking a cake and we'll be wrapping her presents a bit later as well. She's actually asked for an unusual cake this year because every year since they've been born I've decided, and I probably have regretted this decision once or twice, but I decided that I wanted to bake them a cake every year, and I've started to really get into it and I quite enjoy it. But this year she's asked for a badly designed cake. I think she's been seeing them on TikTok where there's the failed baking efforts. And she's seen quite a few horrific hedgehog ones. Now, I had a hedgehog cake when I was little. I can't remember how old I was. I'll have to hunt for the photos. But it was really cute. It was lovely. But she wants a one where it's purposely been made bad. And I don't think I can bring myself to do that. So I'm baking the cake today, and then my husband's decorating it tomorrow, and he's going to be in his element. He can't wait. He's looking forward to making an absolute mess of it. So I'll pop it, if you're in my Facebook group, I'm going to pop a photo in at the weekend so you can all see the absolute nightmare of a cake. But yeah, we're looking forward to her birthday weekend, and I hope you've got some lovely things planned as well. But without further ado, let's jump into this week's topic. So let's talk about what the wardrobe hanger method is. So if you picture your wardrobe now, what the wardrobe hanger method involves is turning all of your hangers so they face backwards. And then every time you wear something, you hang it back with the hanger facing the right way. And what that does is that it means over several months, that method's going to really help you identify which items that you frequently wear from your wardrobe and which ones just occupy space. I think it was Oprah who brought a lot of attention to this method because it's a really effective way to figure out what clothing and other items you actually use. Because there's that old saying, isn't there, where we wear 10% of our wardrobe 90% of the time or something like that. I can't remember what the exact numbers are, but it's probably true if you're honest with yourself. So with this method, you can track exactly what's being used a few pieces at a time. And I'm going to hop into the pros and the cons. So the first pro is that it really creates a clear visual representation of your clothing habits. So you're going to easily see which items are your favourites and which are neglected. Now you might feel as though that's quite obvious to you, and if you want to have a little purge before you start this project, then go right ahead. I would recommend that you have a rifle through your wardrobe and see if there's any obvious ones that you can get rid of, and then focus on the not so sure ones for this project. But it's really going to help you visually see how much of your wardrobe you actually use. And it's also great for gradual decision making. So for those of you out there who really dread the idea of a full day wardrobe clean out, this method actually allows you to make decisions at your own pace. You're just going through your normal daily routines and you're naturally wearing and choosing your clothes, and actually at the end of it you've done the decluttering without even realising. It's a really flexible method as well, so it can be applied at any time of the year, and you can also adapt it to suit various clothing types as well. So not just your everyday wear, but you might pick out your seasonal items and your special occasion items. So you could say, okay, I'm going to do a winter wardrobe clear out. So that means you're going to really focus on your winter items and see how much you use over the winter period. And then when you come to the end of the winter period, look to see which ones of those you've not used. And then you could do the same again for the warmer months. So instead of doing one big clear out, you could focus on the different types of clothes at the right time of the year. It is a really easy decluttering method to implement, and it takes no time to get started as well. It's literally just a case of going into your wardrobe and making sure your hangers are all facing the right way. And you could, if you wanted to, apply the same method to things outside of your clothing, outside of your wardrobe perhaps. So things like belts, jewellery, underwear, pyjamas, things that you might not keep hanging up. But what you'll need to do is come up with a way to mark what items are used, because obviously the hanging ones, you've got the hanger method, which is switching it around, whereas you'll just have to work out how you're going to do that with the other pieces. Maybe you have them in some kind of organising container, and then when they've been taken out, you've known what you've worn them, and then anything that's left in that organising container you know you've not used, for example. But that's something that you can work on and decide over time. And then I think for me the most important pro is that it really reduces wardrobe overwhelm. So by highlighting your most worn items, it's going to really help you to curate a more functional wardrobe that really reflects your actual lifestyle and your preferences, not the lifestyle that you think you should have or you would like to have, or the style that you might have had a few years ago. It's about your current actual lifestyle, what you wear day to day, and it's going to become a wardrobe that you can actually make the most of. And you're able to find things so much easier. Your mornings will become so much calmer because you can go to your wardrobe, you know the clothes that are in there, or all the clothes that you love and you like wearing, they make you feel good, they're comfortable, and you don't have to hunt around for what you're looking for. And that just results in a really calm morning for you with much less stress. Now, as always, there are drawbacks. So the first one is the time factor. So this method isn't a quick fix. As I mentioned, it works best over a few months because that's going to accurately reflect your clothing choices in different situations and seasons. So it might even take you, when you take into consideration the different seasons throughout the year, it might even take you up to a year to fully finish this project. So if you're wanting a quick fix for your wardrobe, this definitely is not that. If you're into that, perhaps maybe just having what I call a wardrobe party, where you just empty everything out of your wardrobe, you grab yourself a bottle of wine or whatever your favourite tipple is, even if it's a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, put some music on and you just pretend you're going on a date night with your wardrobe and just try everything on. Try different outfits, see if they still fit you. If they don't, do they make you feel good? Is it a style you don't like anymore? And just spend a few hours in there getting it sorted. And if that's doable to you, then go for it. If you don't mind spending a few hours and diving into it, then that's great. But if not, and you want to do something that has minimal interruption to your day, then this hanger method is a great one for that. Another con is that the method might not be effective for items that you very rarely wear, like really heavy winter coats perhaps, or special occasion dresses that you wear once in a blue moon to weddings and things. But I think that can be easily rectified, as I say, by maybe doing some smaller mini seasonal versions of this to make sure that you capture those in. Perhaps not the special occasion outfits, because you can't necessarily predict when those are going to happen. So you may need to do those separate to this actual project. Another pro is that it doesn't really address the emotional aspect of why we keep certain clothes that we don't really wear often. And I always find that the wardrobe is a very difficult place for many people to declutter. And I usually recommend that you do it a little bit later on in the decluttering process for that reason, because there's a lot of things in there. There's a lot of aspirational items, perhaps clothes that you've bought that didn't fit you and you thought, you know what, I'm going to keep these because I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to gain weight and they're going to be able to fit me in 6 months' time. Or it might be that clothing that you've worn on special occasions. Perhaps it was a dress and you got proposed to in, or it was an outfit that you wore when you found out you got your favourite job, something like that. But there's a lot of memories and emotions attached to clothes, and this method doesn't naturally address those. It's much more transactional. It's about the clothes that you're wearing and the clothes that you're not wearing. But then what the intention is that then you can just take all the ones that you're not wearing and take them to the charity shop or to donate them elsewhere. But that's not necessarily the case, because you can look at those and you can go, right, well, I'm not wearing these. But then you might find yourself actually going, oh, but I want to keep this because of X, Y, and Z, or I want to keep that one because of this. And you end up then keeping 50% perhaps of what you were intending to get rid of. So this method doesn't address that side of it. I think it's definitely an add-on that you need to think about at the end. It definitely pulls out the things that you don't wear, but you still then have to consider the processing of those at the end of the project. And one last watch out I would say for this method, it's not necessarily a con, but it's just try to make sure that you do put the clothing back on the hanger facing the right way, depending on if you've worn it or not. Because I've known a few people that have done this exercise and actually they just completely forgot about the hangers. And they were just putting things in willy-nilly, and then it got to like 2 or 3 weeks down the line and like, well, actually I need to start again because I've not done this right. And then it just ends up being a bit of wasted time. So just try and keep on top of keeping the hangers the right way, and it should go right for you in the long run. But who are the ideal candidates for this wardrobe hanger method? I would say that this method is particularly great for those of you who prefer decluttering decisions based on actual usage rather than the emotional attachment. So if all you want to know is what you're wearing and what you're not, and you feel as though you can get rid of the things very easily that you're not wearing, then this is perfect for you. It's also ideal for anyone that's looking to gradually work towards a minimalist wardrobe and who perhaps need a bit of a clearer understanding of their dressing habits as well, so that you can take your time over it, you can be really intentional with it, and ultimately 6-9 months down the line end up with a really well-fitting wardrobe that makes you feel you and makes you feel great. And ultimately I think the wardrobe hanger method it's more than just a decluttering technique. Actually, it's a real big journey towards understanding you, your personal style, and your needs, and that can really help moving forward with your intentional purchases as well, which is a massive additional bonus. So if you've tried the wardrobe hanger method or you're planning to give it a go, I'd love to hear about your experience. Just connect with me using the hashtag #SimpleJoyShow or come into my Facebook group, The Simple Living Society, and share your wardrobe decluttering stories, good or bad. And before we wrap up, I just want to say that we've reached the final episode of season 1. It has been an incredible journey, and it's filled with what I hope has been practical and inspirational tips to help you embrace a simpler, more intentional life. And as we wrap up this season, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude for your support and for your engagement. It's been an absolute joy to share my episodes and learn alongside each of you that has been listening. And as we all know, part of living simply is really knowing when to take the step back and recharge. So in that spirit, the Simple Joy Show is going to be taking a short break. But fear not, I'm going to be back for season 2 in the spring. But this break is really going to give me the perfect opportunity to come up with some new ideas, get some fresh insights from my clients, and come back with even more content that's going to inspire and motivate you on your journey towards simplicity. So until then, keep embracing the small joys and the big changes. And remember, the path to a simpler life is always there. waiting for us to take the next step. Stay tuned for our return in the spring. Keep an eye on my socials for the actual launch date. So if you follow me on Instagram, it's at Hello Simple Joy. But in the meantime, continue to share your stories, your insights and experiences in my Facebook group or with the Simple Joy Show community hashtag on Instagram. Thank you for a fantastic first season, and I look forward to reconnecting with you all soon. Stay simple, stay joyful. Take care. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the Simple Joy Show further, then please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on Instagram at Hello Simple Joy. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.